Hi, it's Vita Luca and welcome back to my channel. So today I've got a story time for you. If you missed my last McDonald's story time, definitely check that one out. But this one is another McDonald's one. So just a backdrop, I worked for McDonald's for about almost 6 years, from roughly 2012 to 2018, and it comes out to 5 years and 8 months. So anyways, let's just get into this because this one's interesting. So it was in my first year of becoming a manager. I was working at this restaurant for like 2 months. We're in the ghetto. It's a really sketchy location. I literally just started there. Wasn't a manager before. Didn't even have my training at this point. I didn't have my food safety. I didn't have anything. I kind of just got used to the general things that I needed to do, like cash and my paperwork. But I didn't have experience really with anything else because my training was done in 1 month, basically. And so I haven't gone to the classes yet at this point. And I probably really shouldn't have been a manager. They were desperate. But little backstory, majority of the crew hated me because I ended up taking this one girl's job. Though they didn't end up making her a manager anyways. And she blamed that all on me because the head, the store manager didn't communicate with her. So that's a whole separate story. So one of my coworkers ended up going, or one of my crew, because I'm the manager, ended up going on her break at maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. And she's a smoker, so she ended up going on her break outside. And all that we know is someone on a headset told us that there's a man outside with a gun. She comes running back in being there's a guy outside with a gun. And so we're all kind of freaked out. I end up locking all the doors inside, moving people away from the windows because this entire restaurant is just windows for the whole half. The only part that doesn't have windows is back by the bathrooms, and then there's little sections where there's walls built up, but it's literally just the entire lobby is windows. So I get everyone to move away from any of the doors, any of the windows, because it's bullets can come through all of that. We're on the phone with the police while I'm locking down the place, just trying to get all this stuff handled and people safe. And so we kind of group people up, kind of actually brought them behind the counter because that was the only part where you really didn't have access to a window. There was just certain sections of the lobby where because there's this big wall in the middle. And so it blocked off the back windows, but there's only one section of that lobby, or 2 sections of that lobby that would have, you'd be able to see the windows from the part where you're standing. And so we kind of grouped them away from that because there's a door right there, and that would be the main access point where this guy would have come in. Luckily, I locked the doors in time because the minute she came running in, we just locked the doors. And so we weren't letting anybody in, and we weren't letting anyone out. It's sucks to suck if you want to leave, but I doubt you really want to leave right now. And so yeah, we were on the phone with the police. They ended up coming, and from what the police told us, because they knocked on the window. And so we went and checked, and they're hey. And then they were don't worry, we detained the guy, but he is just lucky to have his life today because he was pointing the gun at us. And, well, first instincts for police is shoot to kill if you're going to be shot, if you're going to die, well, kill them rather than get killed. Or at least that's my understanding of police. There's tons of evidence. If that's not the way that it's supposed to go, there's tons of evidence to prove that they will shoot to kill. So, I don't know. Don't know. Anyways. So, they end up telling us, hey, everything's fine. We got the guy. Luckily, he's alive because, well, the gun was fake. But he had it pointed at us. But luckily, we realized it was fake and just arrested him. Because if we continued to think that it was real, he most likely would have been shot and killed. So he's really lucky to have his life. And all of us were just glad that well, he didn't bother to actually try to come in the restaurant or try to like shoot through, and that the gun was fake, and that no customers were harmed, no employees were harmed, everyone was fine. Though that was like one of the most terrifying days of my life, because it's like, oh great, today's the day I went into work and I'm gonna die. I've had way too many of those experiences, and mainly at this particular restaurant, I have way too many of those experiences. All the other restaurants, I was fine. But for this one, yeah, it was bad. But hey, if you like this video and you stuck around for how short this story time actually was, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I've got more content coming in regards to McDonald's and mainly just Saskatoon, Canada. Because I've got a lot of stories. Well, just a few, but like with McDonald's, I've got so much more, but like with the city itself, I got a few.